may I invite Professor Ujjwal K. Chowdhury, Pro Vice Chancellor, Mass University, to give his remarks before begin the panel discussion of our three stalwarts.
Dr. Maitri, thank you very much. I got disconnected for a moment because of internet connectivity, but I'm happy. I'm happy because I had the chance of listening to Dr. Rupamanjari ma'am first. I missed her first few lines, but I followed the entire thing. I'm happy from for many reasons. Such a learned lady, such a learned scholar. It was good to begin this with a interpretation, a reinterpretation, clarity and agility, rather than confused with the VUCA world as it was then. And take comment, learning is a design technology in the hands of a cannot replace a great teacher. Some of the very pertinent points brought forth, and that has given context in which I'm putting forth my 2-3 points as we begin. Uh, I'll begin with the most simplest thing. The teacher-student model is dead. As it is said in English Shakespearean literature, or even in English society, the monarchy is dead, but long live the king. So, or long live the queen. Similarly, the concept of teaching is there, learning is there, educating is there, but teacher-student model is dead. We have to replace the sage on the stage, who is a teacher, who interprets the syllabus, is the last word on the syllabus, is the first source of information, perhaps the only source of, sometimes the only source of information earlier, is the interpreter of the examination, is the setter of the question paper, evaluator, and decision maker of the lifetime quote unquote merit of the child with respect to marks. This definition of teacher is gone. And we're moving to a mentor. A mentor is not a sage on the stage. He or she aggregates, let me say she aggregates the proprietary knowledge of her own through many forms, talks, videos, slideshows, PowerPoints, podcasts, everything, and open source aggregated knowledge, learning resources, whatever is available, and aggregates this whole and puts before the learner. She facilitates the learner. She is a mentor. She provides for a crying soul, sometimes she provides solace as well. She supports. Similarly, the student is not someone who only studies within the classroom. It has to be replaced with a learner, studying within and beyond the classroom, in formal and informal ways, in synchronous and asynchronous ways, in physical and digital means, from the mentor and from the peers, and more importantly, self-learned and from experiences, experiential learning. So this, in brief, the mental learner model has to come, and this is not a jargon. This is an actual life practice. For brevity of time, I'm not getting more into it. Second, we always had to go to the classroom. We knew it was an English class or a mathematics class in school. In university, we know it was, I had, according to my subject, an econometrics class or an economics class or an Indian economy class. But I didn't know the details of what is going to be taught today. So it's important that we move strictly. Yes, good universities have moved on, colleges have moved on, but not all, not even 20%. We need to move on to flipped classroom system. In a flipped classroom system, the learner is provided with all the learning resources, proprietary of the mentor and open source aggregated from whatever online and offline, whatever sources we have. And these are given in advance according to asynchronously. These are studied in advance. This can be physically studied from book, and this can be digitally studied from screen. So these are studied asynchronously by the learner in advance, before meeting synchronously. And the synchronous meeting can be digital and can be physical, can be doubt clearing focused, can be quiz and debate and discussion, can be case studies and new examples. But then this comes only after the flipped classroom. The flipped classroom is the other big thing that we have to bring in education of tomorrow. Third, experiential brick and portal. Learning by doing or learning through project has to be the dominant form of learning. It has to be assisted brick and mortar and click and portal, both ways. That means digitally and physically. So this whole combination, 50% of learning at least through projects, through initiatives, through activities, through practical, through hands-on, and the other 50% could be what we are now called digital plus physical. So experiential brick and portal, that is the blended learning going ahead. And we as teachers, we have been following the maximum content we have been creating is a PowerPoint presentation or a case study and a good talk. And some examples that we can talk if we have a gift of the gab. But what we now need to understand, content creation is far more complex, learning resource creation or content creation, far more complex, far more diverse. And in these times of blended learning or phygital learning, we need to bring in audio, video, the graphics, infographics, sometimes humor and memes as well as a part of our learning resource, consciously or unconsciously blending them in such a manner that good content created has to be delivered synchronously, asynchronously, digitally or physically through various platforms. Like this one is Zoom, we use MS Teams, there is TCS Ion we have as an LMS. So whatever the platform, from a good, as much interactive possible platform with as much bandwidth connection as possible, we have to reach out. So the good content creation, good content delivery, then learners engagement, and that's the biggest challenge. At this point, 200 people are online. Are we sure that all 200 are listening to what we are discussing? We are not sure. So that's another challenge now. That's online. And offline also, many a time we have challenges of attendance, we have challenge of mentally being involved, being engaged. So this learners engagement in a blended world, in a synchronous, asynchronous blended world, in a physical, digital blended world, requires lot more content. Again, going due to brevity of time, I'll not get into that. But we need quiz, we need presentations, we need videos to be involved, we need polls, we need Google Forms to be utilized, we need debates online, offline. We need multiple ways of engaging the learner. And that learner's engagement cannot be one size fits all, which has been already said very well. Learning is a design endeavor, as Madam has said a little earlier, Honorable Vice Chancellor has said a little earlier. So we move therefore to the next level, that after content creation, content delivery, learners engagement, learners evaluation. Fine, I'll bring this submission to an end by saying that the evaluation itself also has to be blended. For brevity of time will not take. We have to move from competition to collaboration. Competition is a 20th century value. Collaboration is a post-pandemic. It's not enough to be passionate. It's more important to be compassionate. Passion is required, but compassion is furthermore required, and which requires collaboration. I would, the last thing that I wanted to tell, but it won't be possible for time constraint. Just I want to mention all this is possible, including a new education policy, only if digital divide is bridged. And there has to be, just like Roti Kapda, Makan, Shiksha, and Swasth, 5 areas of dignified life, the 6th area of digital access has to be brought in. And without digital access being guaranteed both by the government through digital network, and by the corporate through CSR in digital funding, and by the civil society through Million Mobile Movement or other things, unless the digital divide is bridged, entire education of the future that we are talking will remain the prerogative of only an elite. At this point, 52% of 283 million students of India are actually studying in some form or the other digitally. The remaining 48% are not. That's the last point I'd like to note. Thank you very much. It's a fabulous attempt, a fabulous initiative. And thank you, Dr. Metri, for moderating and allowing me to speak at this point.
Thank you very much, Professor Ujjwal K. Chowdhury ji, Pro Vice Chancellor, Admas University. Thanks for providing insights about students, flipped classroom, and physical and digital. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.